All right, what's up, everybody? What's going on, man? It's your partner Noble and Pooh. I got TK with me. What's up, bro?
Yes, sir. What's good with it, man? Cool,
Amen.
man. Bring me back out to the streets.
Yeah, man. We just wanted to have a quick dialogue with y'all real fast, man. If y'all don't know, this is the legend. And I think this dude got a photographic memory for sure. This is that one cat, man. That's like, this dude will tell me a lecture, the title idea said something in, me or Juice said something in, and then he tell you the exact lecture it was in that we said it and shit. But this is a
Uh-huh.
brilliant mind, super, super duper brilliant mind. In fact, TK is also pretty much the co-author and inspiration. We did this joint together right here, known as the 25 Homophones of Love and Money. Where he was kicking in the Family Wealth Club and whatnot. Let me bring this up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, we had did that joint right there, and perhaps even may even just open up and have a conversation about some of these things, because
Mm-hmm.
these principles that was inside of it, um, it was a lot, and we actually got some more that's coming out. And so, in a
Mm-hmm.
nutshell, um, when we get to these homophones and whatnot, you can see words like interest. I think it all starts with an interest in someone. But
Mm-hmm.
interest is, something that you accumulate when you leave your money in, a bond or savings or something like that. Everybody's big on trust, and trust is, perhaps the most sacred of financial instruments that you can create in order to protect your assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we was just having dialogue, and I don't know how that thing come about, man. It was
Man,
just
I think that's where it started. It started with interest, right? And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, whatever, like when you first see somebody that, you might want to entertain, it's like if something about them pique your curiosity. In other words, you interested, right?
right.
And so it started with the interest piece. And then I'm thinking like, well, you sharing time in somebody's company, right? And so you creating a bond, with somebody and whatnot. And then I'm thinking, by the way, interest. If you take a loan out in the bank, it's going to cure interest, right? You could purchase shares in a company. If I know if my daughter brings somebody around and one of my peoples know who a young boy is and they say, oh, he come from good stock, right? That's another,
Mm.
we refer to stocks and
Right.
bonds. If anybody, family, significant others, you have a bond, right? Which is another financial instrument. When you get in relationships and you start to go out of your way for somebody, right? That's
Mhm.
consideration, in a sense. And everybody, like you said, everybody wants security. You know what I
Right.
mean? Everybody wants a sense of security, and which alludes to, trust in a sense. So I start thinking about that. I'm like, oh, that's fire. So I look, and they say these things is called homophones, right? Two words that have the same pronunciation, but
Mm.
have two different meanings, right? And it just so happened that they hold respect to love and money. And that's when I hit you. I'm like, yo, bro, what's this about? You hit me the next morning. You had 20 of them Jones. You know what I mean? You like, yo, bro. And then you broke down the cosmic on the Venus with the Taurus and the Libra. You know what I mean? And from there, it
Mm.
was all she wrote. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And even those terms he mentioned, like consideration is absolutely something that's binding in contract law and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So that's just not you being considerate of someone in the love. That literally is a financial definition as well and whatnot. And it's something you can get on the Patreon that we have. But I think we got, so you can get it on the Patreon. It's absolutely free when you come into the Patreon. In fact, Patreon just uploaded. They got a new thing in there. We may put it on there where you can buy it, where you don't have to necessarily join the membership and whatnot. But the membership is worth it, man. In fact, let's segue a little bit. We're gonna come back to this because
Mm-hmm.
TK to me is the I call him the inheritor and transmitter of the things that I like to share. You know what I mean? Which is as of recently We call it Gudingdamin Tiatong Ping Kong Dao, which simply means, I told y'all I'm in China, so excuse me, I gotta excuse me, I'm in China. But it means fixed gate, way of heavenly balance. And it's the way that I teach astro and some other things that's a little bit more of the intimate arts of relationships and relating, as well as along with qigong and tai chi and things that we have to study dealing with the energy inside of ourselves and how we can transmit that energy and share that energy with people so we can reach our highest ultimate state of enlightenment, the light within us, right? And so with that, man, because I recently really just started compiling this data, and I'm shooting it over to TK, you know what I mean, for feedback and stuff. Man, it's a gate.
Yo.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. My fault. You chopped
Yeah,
up. What'd you say?
yeah. What's your thoughts on the fixed gate?
Fixed gate is it's the way. This, and in my opinion, um, like I told Noble, in my trek through, different religions and stuff, whether it was Islam, I grew up Methodist, Christian, dabbled in, 5% stuff with my stepfather when I was younger and whatnot. Then I got into the Hebrew Israelite, and I'm going through all these different pantheons, but it was just like nothing would really satisfy my appetite in a spiritual sense. And so I heard Jew and then Pooh on Brother Rich. I think it was way back then. It was like 2016 or something like that, right?
Right.
And like I always say to him, and I always used to say to Jew was, it was like they were speaking my native tongue, right? And what they were saying just resonate directly with who I was and whatnot. And so all these different pantheons, like Noble said, he compiled all this different stuff now, and ultimately it turns into what the fixed gate is. And in my opinion, it is the holy grail of this thing, in a sense. And it resonates to me. It's based on nature, you know what I mean, and getting in harmony and getting in alignment and finding inner peace. And so that's my take. In my opinion, the fixed gate is the way.
That's what's up, man. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man. To come back over into the 25 homophones, because I know some of y'all may want to see some more of that. In the sense,
Mm-hmm.
we give you a little sneak peek. Um, I see some over here that's dealing with, balance and um, even understanding liability and whatnot, right? Um, liquid. That's very interesting. And I'm gonna stop right there because y'all just gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
get the gist of what we doing. Um,
Right.
but liquid is interesting because now we're talking on a chemical level within the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, seminal fluids, vaginal fluids. We're talking cerebral spinal fluids, which is a piece of that inside of vaginal and seminal fluids,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then liquid on the money side represents like how much cash you got access to right now. Your house ain't liquid. Ain't no guarantee you can sell it, right? So that's not liquid. How much liquid cash do you got where a phone call can turn into cash, right? Um, and so, liquid is very, very, very important when you're understanding, the financial side of the ledger. And so, again, we identified over 20, was over 25 in there, but shit, we got like what, about at least about five more we was just shooting the shit on. Like, oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah. What was it? Proposal was a big one, right?
yeah,
You
proposal,
get that
right?
one knee.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
man. Proposal.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the business proposal, and go to the bank, give them this proposal, but then you got the proposal that's, oh, let me get on one knee. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so, cosmically speaking, the planet Venus rules Taurus, which is money and the values. And then the planet Venus rules Libra, which is the relationships. And I find this very interesting because Taurus to Libra, that's like what we call an inconjunct or a quincunx, which is about 150 degrees away, 5 signs away. They ain't got nothing in common. In fact, that would say, this don't even get along, right? But it's ruled by the same planet. So Venus is actually carrying a dual meaning. And it's just very interesting that relationships, Libra principle, really struggle in the realm of finance, the Taurus principle. Can't even have conversations about money. It produces an argument. And when you look at those two, Taurus and Libra, again, the energies are incompatible, although governed by the same thing. What's your take on that, bro? How we reconcile it? How we fix that?
I think that we reconcile that by, it starts with intention, right? It starts with your because see, across from Libra is Aries, right? Which is a single focus, right? And so if two parties are coming together, you have to look in that direction and say, what is the common, what is your goal here? Because I believe everybody balance is not the same, right? You see, like, who was it on? I think it was Gabrielle Union and D Wade. They was out there on the, I believe in the 50-50, right? And then you got some couples that, like yourself, right? You believe in the Flintstone mentality where the man, which I concur with, you know, where the man take care of everything. Your money is your money. I take care of everything. And you know, do what you do type of thing. And then there's those, what would you consider that? A yin? No, what's the reverse, bro? Yin yang?
Yang yin. Yeah. Yang yin. Yep.
Yeah,
Yang yin.
where you got the man who's at home, you see what I'm saying? You know, maybe taking care of the kid, or he doing it, and she on her boss stuff. You know, she top the line CEO somewhere and whatnot. So you have those type. And I think that it starts where you have to find your balance. Some people 50-50, some people 60-40, 70-30, male, woman, whatever your flavor is, right? Once you decide, it's like, all right, what is the goal here? What is the mission here? What is our focus, right? And you got to do that beforehand. See, the attraction comes off of the physical, which is an Aries thing, right? You know, when you see what they looking like and whatnot, but really you got to go a level deeper than that, you know, in terms of, especially with respect to finance, because like, as you stated in the book, that's the leading cause of a divorce, you know, and then that's an inconjunct. But then ironically, if you go 2 signs back, Pisces is an inconjunct to Libra, which is what? Deception, lies, infidelity. That's another, you know, leading cause for you know, divorce and whatnot. But, you know, sticking on to the financial piece, I think that you reconcile that by, before you even get in too deep, you have to have those conversations, you know, in a sense, before you get wrapped up in the oxytocin flowing, dopamine flowing, you suspending your common logic because of what somebody looked like, and, you know, that maybe the sexual component and all of that. And then you look up, what, a year later, 2 years later, when that lust phase, that honeymoon phase don't wear off, and you realize, like, man, like, you know, I should have, you know, dealt with this before. And the compound effect, he said, you're not inspecting what you're expecting, right? And so you have to do that deep dive beforehand. I think that kind of will help you circumvent, you know, because it's either one or two ways, a few ways you're gonna go about it. Either you're gonna say, okay, this is where we want to go, right? And you're gonna get alignment, and you're gonna get on your Capricorn and your Virgo and your money routine, and y'all gonna ball out and do what y'all do. Or if you can't see eye to eye, then it can't go. Otherwise, you ain't got nobody to be mad at when those financial issues arise and they cause dissonance within the relationship, and you know, you end up essentially not, you know, reaching the apex or the ultimate goal, in a sense. So that's my reconciliation, bro.
Right. We're not even getting together and having intentional conversations about things that we value, things that are important, such as money. And like you say, you have to find your balance, which we call ping hong. You have to find your balance within this place, whether it be 70-30, 60-40, whatever your flow is. And from the outside looking in, it just seemed like it's basic common sense that we should have these conversations before we get in, but we'd be amazed that we don't. Right. But switching gears a little bit, because you mentioned something, that honeymoon effect wear off. How do you keep it? How do you keep the honeymoon effect?
Honeymoon effect. I
Yeah, how does
think
she stay on?
I think you keep the honeymoon effect by, well, it's really like the fixed gate, right? Like the
Mhm.
stuff that you teach, and I'll go into a little bit in terms of the love languages, right? And it's interesting because out of the five of them, only one of them is physical, right?
Mm.
It's touch. The rest of them affirmations that's a mental thing, right? I'm telling you something. Receiving gifts, that's a thoughtful type of thing. Even though it's a physical gift you
Right.
may receive, it's a thought derived thing. Where we at acts of service, that's a thought. I'm gonna go out of my way and I know she like this, so I know let me pack her lunch for her, or whatever the case may be. That's acts of service. And then what's the last one, bro? I'm missing one.
We got words of affirmation, quality time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Quality time, right?
yeah,
And so you can spend your quality time physically doing things, but that's, again, you have to make a decision, right? You have to decide, this is what I want to do with my time. What's more important? So it's still a thought thing, right? And touch, the physical side of it, like, I'll be open and transparent with my health. I got an autoimmune condition, right? And Noble got a practice called the Tantric Hug that he put me on to, that I'm doing with my significant other right now. Every evening, simple, 3 to 5 minutes. You do the Tantric Hug every night. And the idea is the oxytocin, if I'm correct, the oxytocin can't
Mhm.
exist in the same space as the cortisol, which is the stress hormone, right? And so, with the oxytocin, that's the love binding hormone, right? And so getting back into that space, of, like you said, the dragon heart and whatnot, to keep that flame going. And ultimately, like you said too, let's play love, right? How much can I love on you today? Right? And when you wake up, letting that be your intention. That's how you overcome the staleness, in the relationship as time goes on and whatnot. But just, that's a Leo concept as well, being creative,
Yeah.
finding ways to love on you in ways that I never loved. If you mean that much to me, you know what I mean? And you should be willing to go that distance. So I think it's has a lot to do with that, man, in a
Right. Right.
sense. So,
All
mhm.
day. Let's play love is dope. We talking about you already in the existing relationship. Ain't nothing wrong with playing love while you in a relationship,
Mhm.
making it a game. Even if you're not in a relationship, I'm an avid person and dealing with a practice partner. Um, how long you and your significant other, you and your girl been together?
We've been 14 years. We don't had, we had our little breaks and whatnot, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
together dealing with each other 14 years. Yep. This
14,
summer.
14, 14
Yeah,
years.
July 10th. Yep.
Right, 14 years.
Mhm.
And then let's say over this short period within, let's say, these last 60 days of fixed gate work, if that
Mhm.
long, probably ain't even been that long yet.
Mhm.
How has it, if it has, how has it impacted your relationship as a man? What have you seen?
Man, listen. So, and it's crazy because we really only been consistently doing this like this week. You know what I mean? I've been hitting you every night. We've been
Right.
locked in these past 3 or 4 days. It's opened up doors, that were kind of shut, for a long time, by the physical touch. Like, I'll give you an example. Last night we sitting there, we doing it. We get done, the timer go off, right? And I'll say like the first day, as soon as the timer went off, we had got up, we sat there, kicked it for a minute, and then we went to bed. But like last night, we did it, the timer go off, and she like, well, I just want to lay here, right?
Right.
And now she got her head, on my chest and whatnot. And we sitting there, and it opened up doors for us to communicate on things that we haven't touched in a long time. What are our goals? What do we really see for our children? Getting our hearts and our minds back
Center.
into alignment. And it's really just reigniting that spark. And the amazing part about it is I'm on my songwriting journey, as you know, right now.
Right. Right.
And I'm big on love. And so it's amazing because I started writing this EP for the Leo, with the Leo concepts for the winter, getting at what the heart of the matter is,
Mm.
right? And if because that's really where the fire is, right? So it's the heart of the matter, a fire place to be. And I'm really styling it based on the 5 love languages. And here's the fire part. So we do our tantric hug last night, right? We vibe for probably about, like, it was supposed to just be 5 minutes. We was out here for about a half an hour, just vibing, bro.
Right.
And so as soon as we done, she like, all right, you coming to bed? I'm like, give me 20 minutes. I go out to the car because that's my studio right now. I go out to the car and I wrote an interlude called Touch. That spawned the idea where I said, okay, touch. Touch does what? For me, it opened doors, right? Open doors for what? Lines of communication. So that leads to words of affirmation. So that's the next song. So touch opened doors to do what? To receive, right? And which is gifts, acts of service, and things like that. So you can kind of see where I'm going with it as I'm styling this, this album or this EP in a sense. But again, it just the love, because it's a Leo concept, lead to creativity. You know what I mean? And it's translating to, songs for me in a sense. So it's really beautiful, and I'm really grateful and appreciative for the practice, because again, you don't know how that gonna go if we kept on that path in a sense, you know what I mean, and whatnot. But this is bringing back that juice, that spunk, that feeling. She come in the door now, and it's like, oh, my baby home. Like when she called me, what she want? No more. It's like I'm ready to pick up the phone. What you need? What you know? So it's a beautiful thing, bro, and I appreciate you for it, man.
Right. No doubt, bro. No doubt. That's it's interesting when you said, like hearts align, minds align. I'm like, damn. What makes us think that we are aligned when we're living to a degree our individual lives within a relationship? You go to work, I go to work, kids, bills, extracurricular things, side businesses as well. What makes us think that we are aligned when we never physically come together to purposely align, right? The mind, face to face, hug, and center to center, where we can say heart to heart, right? Like we never have that physical practice where we're physically doing that with the intention of aligning and coming into center with one another. Makes us think that we are. You know what I'm saying? And that was just I saw that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a powerful way to literally reset, recenter, focus, and it's something that really should be done as we teach every day for a period of just a period 3 to 5 minutes a day, every single day, no days off, because the goal is, as TK was talking about earlier, is to get the brain, particularly the hypothalamus, the master chemical maker, to produce the chemical oxytocin, because within this chemical of oxytocin, stress can't live in the body. Cortisol dies. It gets totally, oxytocin would destroy cortisol. So the love chemical, the bonding chemical, literally destroys stress. And this is to me, this is the real meaning of you can't serve two masters at the same time. So it's the internal state of being. Are you on the happy side of the ledger, the loving side of the ledger, or are you on the other side of the ledger, the stress side? And to be on the loving side, and we're talking about chemically speaking, not just the mind, chemically speaking. See, the chemical reality is a reflection of what the mind is really thinking anyway. So you can talk all this positive shit if you want to. But if your chemical state is one of stress and out of balance or disease, what's called jibbing disease, right? You in trouble. That's really a reflection of your real thoughts, right? And so by doing this love practice, what we call the dragon heart, right? When you do this, this will allow you to, recenter, refocus, and produce that chemical that'll get us where we need to be. And what we're doing within the dragon heart is, especially those who got any type of lab work that need to be done, something that we can measure is, let's really test the notion of love is the answer, because we heard it all our lives, you know what I mean? But I think we never seen it, you know what I'm saying? But let's dedicate ourselves to the path of, you know, we call it the dragon heart, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the dragon heart and whatnot, because you gotta have, you gotta have a heart, and you gotta have courage to be able to do this and to stay on.
And that's key, man. It's paramount, because going back to the Venus thing, man, it's like you gotta have that inner harmony, man. You got to, because it's just a reflection, you know. And if you look at the condition that I have an autoimmune condition. So basically, my body can't distinguish between what's foreign and what's domestic, or what's good and what's bad. So it's just spraying on everything. It's just taking it, and the byproduct of that is inflammation. So my knuckles, you could kind of see, they get inflamed. My elbows, my joints get inflamed. And the thing that's interesting about the joints is cartilage is avascular, which just simply means there's no blood. That's why it's white. You look at a chicken bone, then it's just white, right? So the joints eat through movement, right? The synovial fluid and whatnot, which leads itself to the qigong, the tai chi work, in conjunction with doing this tantric work. And again, like you said, making it tangible, making it objective. So I just got some blood work done, right? In 3 months, top of the year, I'm gonna go get some more blood work done, right? Because I could feel the feeling. I could feel much better, right? But we want to see is his antibody, you know, nuclear levels going down and whatnot, to correspond with what I'm feeling, you know, as a result of these practices, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, it's key. And then, like you said, man, something about what Venus and Leo, that's like an exaltation. You know what's
in our system, that's an exaltation.
You know what's interesting about that, man? Venus got the hottest surface out of all the planets in the solar system, because it got that greenhouse, you know, effect, because carbon dioxide is, you know, basically what's in its atmosphere and whatnot. And so, you know, I just found that how ironic is that, you know what I mean? Astronomically corresponds with what, you know, you know, in a sense. So, yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep, for sure, man. But yeah, man, we just wanted to come on real fast and just have a quick conversation, man. You know, y'all definitely be seeing this guy. In fact, I believe not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, if you come over into the Patreon, we just did a 6-week Astro course. Still available. It's in the Patreon. You can just click on the links to catch the classes. But starting next Sunday, which is going to be the 8th, right? So starting on October the 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern, TK will be doing the honors just to go over, leading a group that want to go back over the basics of just really just talking about the very basics, the fundamentals. And even though the advanced stuff always going to get stripped back down to the very basic fundamentals, you can never really get outside of what I call the yin yang aspect of this thing, especially when you do relationship compatibility, which in my opinion is the funnest thing to do, right? And I'm glad you mentioned Dwayne Wade and Gabriel. You know, I think I'm gonna pull them up for Sunday's class, bro. Because I think Gabriel and Dwayne Wade.
Oh yeah, that's bro.
I think that's a role reversal. You know what I'm saying? It comes off very role reversal. You know what I'm saying? He comes off look way more feminine, and she's way more masculine to a degree. I want to see if I could be able to see that and whatnot. So, but anyway, y'all can join the Patreon and whatnot. And like I said, we about to get ready to gear up for basically a whole nother 4-week course all over again, starting on Sunday, October the 8th, hosted by TK, yours truly. Of course, I'll be in the building as well. If you would like an introduction into the fixed gate, you got about maybe like, I don't know, over 10 papers that are written on various subject matters, the poles, bipolar, just a various subject matters, man. If you would like to receive some of those papers, you do have to email me to get those papers, to get an introduction of the fixed gate. Remember, in the Patreon, that's great community. We doing it, but in fact, over there, we doing 28 days of gratitude, and we on day 7 already. And we do gratitude practices, astrology stuff over there, but then there's more of an internal thing that we're doing for those that say, hey, I want to go a little bit more deeper on my journey and whatnot. And so, that's more coming into the fixed gate. So if you would like to just read up on it, you just have to inquire. You can email Noble and Pooh. You can see the name at the bottom at Gmail, Noble and Pooh at Gmail and whatnot. And bro, what's your favorite paper, man?
Man, my favorite paper. There's so many of them, bro. They be coming out like hotcakes, bro. It'd be like 3 in one day. You know what I mean? But I think the one that got me was the meiosis. When you breaking down the poles and the centric, I think that's the one.
Yeah, that joint is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That showed me right there that the sign that square your ass.
Yeah,
I don't think it's any reconciliation.
Nah,
I really don't.
Yeah,
I really don't, because the mere fact that the centroli come out and it forms a square itself, then cast those fibers out and pull the shit apart. Oh my god! And they poles only mess with each other to the poles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, this ain't just a cosmic thing. This thing is an intercellular thing. And then yesterday I was looking at some of this stuff inside the cells, and there's something on them centroles, bro, called asters. And aster, A-S-T-E-R, I know is Greek for star, like an asteroid.
That's
you know
a
what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I said, nah, I'm about to go back in there. And so, in fact, I'm about to do something specifically for those in the fixed gate called Fractal 4.
Fractal 4?
Yeah, Fractal 4 is going to be a Fractal 4 is going to be a presentation. You know what I'm saying? And
I can't wait.
Yeah, Fractal 4 is going to be off the chain. This is going to be absolutely the clearest correspondence as it pertains to, hold on, I'm about to load it up in a second, as it pertains to the famous saying, as above, so below, and literally showing how we are a miniature mirror of the macrocosmic universe. Like, we hear it all the time, but I don't know if we ever really seen it. And I'm gonna show you y'all that, and so that's gonna be coming up real soon. It's called Fractal 4, and like you see on the screen, like, come on, man, tell me that ain't identical.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Tell me this Milky Way galaxy that we live in. And if y'all knew, like, our solar system literally is on one of these arms, this hurricane looking thing. This arm is called Orion Spur. And so our whole entire solar system exists as a little speck inside of one of those bright lights that you see on the outer aspect called Orion Spur. But, we got that wave, man. That wave is in our head. You know what I mean? So, we're going to get ready to go in on Fractal 4. And I ain't going to even go, this is the furthest I'm going. But when you even go to nature, bro, nature, they said there's only 4 fundamental forces in nature. Now, out of all this shit to observe in the goddamn observable universe, TK, they're going to say it's only 4 fundamental forces? That's it? 4? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, nah, man, we're gonna really get into this whole thing. And so Fractal 4 is coming. It's gonna be an online presentation for those that's in the fixed gate and whatnot. So but yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. We 35 minutes deep, and I just wanted to come on and kick it with you, man, and tell you I appreciate you, man. I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you too, bro, man. Listen.
Hey, bro, I don't know if you know how much you inspired me, but you absolutely 100%.
Look, you my OG, you my big homie. So hearing that from you, man, that means a lot. And I appreciate you sharing the platform with me. And obviously, if anybody gleans something from this information, that's you know, that's dope and whatnot. But personally for me, like I told you, I shy away from the spotlight. You know what I mean? When you was like, yo, you ready to go live? I'm like, I'm not ready to come out. You like, man, listen, you can't be on that put up and shut up and not. So really it's an opportunity for me to work on that confidence piece. You know what I mean? Get comfortable, you know, with being on cam or get fun, you know, because I'm always the one-to-one guy. If I'm on the phone with you or we kicking it in person, I go all day. Soon as the cam come on, as soon as you get in front of the classes, now you want go in your turtle shell. It's like, nah, stand on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I appreciate you bringing me up, man.
No doubt, man. Yeah, no doubt, man. Again, y'all join the Patreon class coming up. 4-week class starting on Sunday the 8th. But come on in. It's a plethora of information that's in there, PDFs, all kind of stuff is already in there, videos, all kind of stuff that's in there that's not here on YouTube and whatnot. All right. So, man, with that, man, we see y'all later, man. Peace.
Peace.